What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And if you can't tell, I am super excited. The Bulls just finished the preseason with the perfect 4-0 this year against the Memphis Grizzlies. And there's a lot to pull away from this game, right? This was the Bulls' biggest test so far in preseason, I think, coming up against the Grizzlies team, which is projected to be a pretty good team going into the regular season as well. And just how the teams matched up. Now, I want to start off here with Zach Levine, who had a stat line of 31 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, but 5 turnovers. Now, hopefully that part of his game tightens up, but especially for anyone who's concerned about what if Zach Levine is going to be able to match his scoring output from last year, even though he doesn't really need to on how stacked this team is. But one thing that Zach proved in this game is that he can get his points when he wants to. And yeah, that's not going to be the case every night, depending on how teams prepare for him or what individual defender he's up against. But Zach Levine, with that efficiency that he was able to score from 9 of 18 from field goals, 4 for 4 for 3, 9 for 10 from free throws. Listen here, Zach Levine is poised to have a great season. But the one thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to probably spend more time on this video talking about, is how the Bulls ended this game. So we go into the fourth quarter. I believe we were down at one point in the fourth quarter, and the Bulls starters left. We had all bench players out there against mainly all of for a while there it was not the Memphis Grizzlies bench players, but mostly it was the benches versus the benches. And the Bulls bench, let's talk about the activity that they show out here, the way that they keep the pressure on teams, the energy in which they play in. Shout out to Haize Johnson, Alex Caruso, and Io, who really showed up. Matt Thomas as well with some great passes and playing in that passing lane. I said it in the X Factor video when I finished my last video that while the X Factor may change each night depending on who's hot on this Bulls bench, but the Bulls bench overall may be our X Factor when it comes into the regular season, especially if you look at people that are players that are going to continue to develop, to continue to build chemistry and continue to carve out their role in this team. I'm really excited for so many players on this Bulls bench that it's ridiculous, man. Like, just seeing them out there in the heart in which they played in, and Io like playing in those passing lanes. And that's something that overall that you saw from this Bulls team throughout the whole game is that the way they want to play the passing lanes. 13 steals tonight, which is, a little bit less than what they had in some games this season, but continue to keep that pressure on the passing lanes. Never let teams have those easy moments, and even on the boards as well, like that activity on the boards. Vooch also, like, I want to make sure, because I say, and I call myself out, I'm always someone who, like, what Vooch does seems so effortless sometimes that you forget, but 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal from Vooch, 11 from 14 shooting, 1 for 3. Vooch is going to be the reason why this team, like, the way that he's able to rebound both offensively and defensively, man, it just keeps the Bulls in games and everything there. Also, DeRozan really showing his mid-range game again this season, and how he's going to take some of that pressure off Zach Levine. Now, there was a stretch in this game, and there's probably a Memphis Grizzlies YouTuber / podcaster who's saying the same thing, but there was a stretch in this game where the Bulls were really getting, it was more towards the middle of the third quarter, where the Bulls were getting almost every look that they wanted to. The shots just weren't falling for a little period in time there. And I wonder how much higher this lead would have been, or how that would have changed the game if those shots go down. So that's going to be something to look into, like how that keeps going. But Patrick Williams, who, I had said probably won't play a lot of minutes, coming back 22 minutes, and he started tonight. He was 2 for 6 from shooting, 2 for 3 from the three-pointer. And it's just good to see Patrick Williams out there. It's good to see this Bulls full starting 5 out there, and then to start building that chemistry. Like, and his minutes are going to uptick the more he shows, and probably they're going to look at how his body responds to this game as well. Troy Brown Jr., 15 minutes off the bench. Not much there. It had a plus minus of -10, and I was surprised to see that from Troy Brown Jr. But, keep an eye on that. Javonte Green, again, now he's going to that bench role, and he showed, like, there was a time where he was fighting with Steven Adams over a ball. Now, he didn't get the jump ball, of course, but his activity is going to keep him. And that's overall the theme with this team, is the activity in which they play with. It's going to be huge for this team going forward, man. Matt Thomas also with only 6 minutes, Io with 6 minutes, which I'm surprising that though it felt like they were out there for longer than that, but in the time that they were out there, they showed impact. And I think what we're seeing from this Bulls bench is that when they're going to be called on, these players are going to be out to prove that they belong, not only on this team and to get minutes, but in the NBA. Tony Bradley also making his debut with only 9 minutes today. So, monitor that as well. But this overall, it just coming out of this Bulls preseason, it's just an exciting time to be a Bulls fan. And I know that's something that you're going to hear echoed throughout, and if you watch other Bull podcasters and YouTubers and stuff like that, but it's true. Like, we haven't had this level of excitement. And Zach Levine, who hadn't had a 4-game winning stretch since college before being in the Olympics, now goes into the regular season with another 4-game winning stretch in the preseason. And overall, the activity, like I said before, some things to point out here with concerns that the Bulls did get sloppy on defense a couple of times for a couple of stretches, right? Which allowed, like, they kept flirting back and forth with the lead. There were times where it looks like the Bulls were going to play, were going to run away with it and really extend that lead. And then, they started getting sloppy or whatever. And then the Memphis Grizzlies were able to get back into it. I said that they had 13 steals, but they also had 13 turnovers. So we like to see the balance between those two even out a little bit more, of course, going into the regular season. And only 2 blocks from the Bulls as a team in this game. And Lonzo Ball, 31 minutes, 2 for 8 from shooting, 0 for 3 from downtown, 1 for 2 from 3-pointers. But he did have 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and he had a plus minus of plus 16. So, Lonzo Ball we've said it, his impact is going to be more than just scoring certain nights, but it's good to know that he does have that ability. The shots didn't fall for him tonight. Like I said, there was a stretch in which the Bulls, they were really getting pretty great shots, and I think almost everyone missed a shot over that stretch. So, not too hard coming into this game down on that or whatever. Ja Morant, though. Listen to Ja Morant's stat line. 28 minutes, 5 for 9 for shooting, 17 points with a plus minus of only plus 2. And you got to think, right? You got to think, even though Lonzo Ball's stat line wasn't amazing or stand out or anything, that having Lonzo defend Ja Morant was a reason why his plus minus wasn't as high as what it usually is. So, overall, excited game. Great to see the Bulls. Great to get a win going into the regular season. The Bulls regular season starts very, very soon. And I know we're all excited as a fan base. I know we can't wait to see if this level of play that we've seen in the preseason carries on into the regular season. I mean, I hope that it does. I definitely think that it will. They have given us nothing to really think that the style of play that they played is not going to improve going into the regular season, especially now that they have Patrick Williams back in their full starting 5. Regular season starts in 5 days. 5 days on the 20th. We're only a few days away from the regular season, and Lord knows that I can't wait. I'll see you guys Wednesday after that game, and maybe a little bit later. I do another one on my podcast typically on Wednesday night, so we'll see when I'm able to release the episode. It may not be out to that Thursday morning, but this is a really great time to be a Bulls fan, man. And it just feels really good to see this team be able to play the way they have been, the confidence in which they're playing out there, and the grittiness also of this team. We know we love gritty players, gritty style of play here in Chicago. And this team is definitely going to feel that, I think. And Haize Johnson, man, I know I keep saying it, but like, Haize fucking Johnson. Just don't be surprised if we keep being wild by Haize Johnson going into the season. But let me know down below how you guys feel about this preseason overall. Anything from this game that stood out to you in either positive or negative. And then I can't wait to see how the national media starts changing with the Bulls as hopefully as they start winning like we think they can. We know they start off the regular season against Detroit and New Orleans, which that New Orleans game, Zion may still not be back in that game, it doesn't seem like. So we have Detroit, New Orleans, and Detroit again for our first 3 games. And then Toronto after that. There's no reason to believe that the Bulls can't start off 3-0. There's no reason to believe that they can't compete with anybody as of right now. So we'll see how that goes going into the season. I really have that New York's Knicks game circled as well. My best friend is a Knicks fan, and I'll try to bring him on after that game so we can talk about it. Argue probably about it, but yeah, that's it. Like I like to end every episode on Go Bulls. I love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.